beautiful, lovely, gorgeous individuals today. Now, today we're not exactly doing a reaction video per se, but we are going to be going through my thoughts on the announced Star Wars movie that just happened earlier today. Now, if you weren't paying attention, over on StarWars.com, it was announced that the Mandalorian and Grogu are skipping season 4 and going straight to a movie, straight to the theaters. And this comes from the team over at StarWars.com with this press release right here. It says, and I quote, "The Mandalorian and Grogu are embarking on a new adventure to movie theaters. Directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, and Dave Filoni, The Mandalorian and Grogu will go into production in 2024. I have loved telling stories set in a rich world that George Lucas created," said Favreau. "The prospect of bringing the Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have ushered into Star Wars 2 new and beloved characters, and this new story is a perfect fit for the big screen," added Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm. "The Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm on an ongoing feature development slate, including films helmed by Tremaine Obey-Chenoy, James Mangold, Dave Filoni, who is also currently developing Ahsoka Season 2 among those in the works. This is the way." Now, before we get into all of that right there, let's put a little shelf right here for Ahsoka. The Ahsoka Season 2 announcement. Let's put that on the shelf. We'll get to you in a bit. Sit tight. Look pretty, though. Sit tight. We're going to get to you in a sec. The Mandalorian and Grogu getting a feature film presentation now. That was been like the rumor going around for a long time now. And that was kind of broken, I believe in December or November of last year, by Jeff Snyder over at the Insider. He broke that, hey, they're not doing the season 4. They're going to tell a story that's going to fit better in theaters. And you know, honestly, Star Wars needs to get back in the theaters. As much as I love the shows on Disney Plus, Star Wars needs to get back into the big screen. That is what brought them to the show. Get them back in there. I miss the feeling of going into the theater, sitting down and singing the big the music, John Williams' theme and everything in the big screen, and seeing the space opera battles and everything, the battle of philosophies between good and evil, right and wrong. It needs that. Star Wars needs that. And it kind of not suffering of a lack of that, but if you're gonna continue Star Wars in any which way, whether it be a Rey movie set 15 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker or something in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, like they're planning with Dave Filoni with the crossover movie with Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and I'm thinking Skeleton Crew. I think that one's getting in between as well, starting with Jude Law. Now, obviously, this is very, very, very early in production. They already have their director, Jon Favreau. Obviously, will Pedro Pascal come back to be in the film, per se, is a question. I'm not really sure, to be totally honest. It would make sense to keep him as a voice. Obviously, they're not going to get rid of that voice. But if you keep Brandon Wayne as the body double as him, it makes sense. I don't know if we need to see Din Djarin's face again. Because, again, they established that this clan of Mandalorian that he is evolved in, that he's a part of, they don't take off their helmets. They don't take off their masks. I know at first that was a little weird to see, especially if you've been watching the Clone Wars and Rebels. Seeing the Mandalorians taking the helmets off is a normal thing. The certain group of Mandalorian was not accustomed to that. You don't show your face to anyone. Which, you know, at first I thought, why are they kind of retconning everything that happens? They're not. They're showing a different side, a different philosophy, a different way of living as a Mandalorian, which I thought, okay, that's cool to see. Especially what we saw in Season 2 when he met Bo-Katan and the rest of her clan. But this is exciting. I can't wait to see this. And obviously, I saw a tweet earlier today by Matt Brawley, the creator of Amphibia and soon-to-be filmmaker for Sony soon. He mentioned in a tweet that let's not stick in the Skywalker versus Star Wars and more CGI Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, Muckamaloo and stuff like that, which I would say I agree with Matt Brawley. Let's not stick with Luke in this movie. I believe in that crossover movie they're doing with the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, you're gonna have to involve Luke some way, somehow, and just because of the villain Thrawn. But before we get into that, let's talk about this. I agree with Matt Brawley. Let's not go into, let's find a way to connect it with the Skywalkers and anything like that. Let's tell its own story, which they have done their best to a certain point up until the season 1 finale when Luke was the one to find Grogu to train him. I would like to see them expand the universe. Let's go back into the unknown regions that they kind of tapped into in Ahsoka season 1. Let's go more into that. There's more out there. Let's see if there's some High Republic era stuff that they haven't touched that they can explore. And when I mean High Republic era, like ancient ruins and ancient temples, something like that in between. And that's also, you know what? Don't be crazy. I believe we're gonna get Thrawn in this movie, and the only way I think we're gonna get Thrawn is whether it's a setup for the movie or he actually does show up in a Vader-esque style cameo, like how Vader showed up in Rogue One. I think we'll definitely get Thrawn just as a setup, but you need to start setting up Thrawn as that menacing presence. Us Star Wars fans who watch the shows, read the books, we know how big of a threat Thrawn is. He's top 3 level villains of Star Wars. That's right, top 3. Which 3? Let's not get into that. I'm not gonna get into that debate right now. But he's top 3 level villain of Star Wars. And you gotta start getting him up to speed on how bad he is. I thought Ahsoka, they did their best telling us, he's bad, but they didn't show us. It's a lot of tell and no show when it came to Ahsoka and explaining how much of a menace Thrawn is to the general audience. Now, again, as Star Wars fans, we know how much of a baddie Thrawn is, but you need to start showing us how much of a baddie he is. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to start laying the groundworks in that. Now, whether or not he meets Thrawn, faces him, or anything like that, that's yet to tell. I don't think they will, but they will definitely start establishing the threat level of Thrawn in this movie. And that just goes to show where will this movie land for the Dave Filoni movie? Is this a setup for the Dave Filoni movie that happens the next year, or is this movie going to be happening in the same year? Or are we going to get 2 Star Wars movies? This one with Dave Filoni in 2025. Again, they could not. I think they said in the past that the Rey movie directed by Shinoy is going to be the first one out of the gates. Obviously, I think they changed their plans. I don't know if her comments recently was sparked this. If it was, that's kind of dumb and stupid reacting that way. We're not getting into that subject. That's a whole other animal right there. But we're talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu, the greatest little tag team that you ever thought in a galaxy far, far away. They're getting their own movie, and it might be better to be in a movie because you need to capitalize on the popularity the biggest way you know how. Game of Thrones did this a lot for their episodes. They put out the season premiere for a season in theaters for, I believe, maybe like a month, maybe 2. And then it did the same thing for a season finale. They did it for a couple seasons. Marvel tried to do it with the Inhumans, and that kind of landed flat on their face because the Inhumans sucked. Sorry, I know. I don't like to be negative, but the Inhumans was a terrible show. It was not good. It was not a good show. Anyways, we're not talking about Inhumans. We're talking about some Mandalorians. And again, another question. Will we get more Mandalorians? Will we see Bo-Katan show up? Will we see the Armorer show up? Will we see his entire clan? Is he going to build a new clan? There's so many options out there. There's so many creative things that can happen in this movie that doesn't need to involve Luke. Which I think, and now that I say it now, I think that storyline is kind of passe. They've done their part. Grogu made his choice to be within and not go on the path of the Jedi. So I do think Luke Skywalker showing up in this movie, percentage-wise, I would say low 15%. A low 15% showing up. A name drop, maybe? It's a possibility. Especially if you get Ahsoka involved, which, Ahsoka involved in the movie? That's another maybe. And again, it depends on when the show, whether season 2 drops before the movie or the movie comes after the show. It's weird right now. It's a weird time for Star Wars, but this is a good announcement to kick off the new year. I can't wait to see this movie. If production is happening now, this early, we could probably start assuming they won't film until the beginning of next year for a maybe 2026 Christmas Day release. That's probably the most likely of options right there. And that also gives you time to maybe hopefully land Pedro Pascal to be in the suits throughout the whole filming process and not just be a voice, because I know that that's so much drama, not drama, but logistical issues, because Pedro Pascal is probably one of the most sought out actors in Hollywood today. I mean, if you think of a show or a movie, you think Pedro Pascal, he's in it. It's insane. Hey, Daddy Pascal, he nails in almost everything he is. I don't blame him. The dude got charm and finesse for days. Keep rolling, bro. Keep going. Keep doing you. But, you know, that's my thoughts on Grogu, the Mandalorian. They're getting the movie promotion. They're going to the big screen. I can't wait to see a new Star Wars movie in the big screen. It's gonna be so exciting to see another one in there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu? And is that the title for the movie? The way that press release made it sound, that could be the title for this movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which it sounds good to me. I'm for it. Everyone loves Grogu. Everyone loves The Mandalorian. Why not? Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's the title right there. The Mandalorian and Grogu, a Star Wars story. That's your title right there. Let me know in the comments down below. Is that the title? Do you guys have a better title idea? Let me know in the comments down below. If you want to follow me on all my social medias, please do so as well. All my handles in the description for you as well. And also, you beautiful, lovely, gorgeous individuals out there, hit like, hit subscribe to my channel, Sam and CS, for more fun videos like this one here. I'm going to try to start doing more talkative. My thoughts and theories on movie news, TV news, stuff like that. And listen, we're so close to reaching 500 subscribers. 500. We're so close. We're this close. We need the next step. I know you guys can do that for me. I love you, beautiful individuals. Please help me out. I help you out, because once you hit 5, it opens up the door for some new things that can come up soon. I know that can happen, because once we get that door, we'll open that door, another door, and another door, and another door, and another door, and another door. Let me say goodbye before we get into these doors of endless doors here, okay? Until next time, you beautiful, lovely, gorgeous individuals in the galaxy far, far away. Bye!